Okay, so let's start module 6, which is plan reviews, right? So we have the learning outcomes from module 6. These are our learning outcomes. Uh, Discuss the reason behind construction plans are reviewed before construction, right? Discuss the types of plan and fire department plans that fire department typically reviews. The benefit of fire department involvement in plan review process for the business communities. Discuss the knowledge and abilities required for fire plan reviewers. So what is the purpose of the plan review, right? So the primary purpose for the plan review is to verify that proposed structure compliance with the code before work begins, right? So before the construction start, we must review the plan so that in future there might not come any kind of the problem, right? If the civil or architectural team not contacting the fire department officials or the building code enforcement officers, maybe at the later stage, right, it is out of the boundary. They said you are not following the fire safety rules and you have to follow that one, right? This is the reason you have to review, you have to submit your plan for reviewers prior to beginning of work at the site. The system provides an additional level of safety, right, by ensuring that conditions are evaluated by another set of eyes. Okay, I am the designer. I made a plan now with my best knowledge and abilities. Then I submit this to the consultant or plan reviewers. So this guy will again review your plans. By doing that, maybe he will find some mistakes the way you designed. He will refer you drawing backs, regarding those deficiency, and you have to correct those deficiency. So what are the issues of interest for the plan review, right? For the fire service, right? While reviewing the plan, if you can see here, the access roadways to the structure, right? Fire plans access roadway to the structure. We normally need 6.1 meter access for the fire department team vehicles, right? So those trucks will go inside. They will need 6.1 meter uh, width and height of around 4.5 meter or something for the access, right? The vertical clearance and the horizontal clearance. The location of the fire department connection, right? Where you have put the fire department connection. Maybe you have not put at the easiest location from where the fire department team can access. Where is the hydrant locations? What is the distance between two hydrants? What is the distance of the hydrant from the buildings, right? Or and fire command centers, right? And access to the building services as well as control features of fire protection system all have a significant potential operational impact in the event of the emergencies, right? So the civil and architectural team have not enough knowledge and skill set related to the fire and safety, right? So they must consult in some other department, right, which is fire department teams who review your plan and approve prior to construction, right? Now imagine the entrance of a hospital complex, right? There is a security gate, and the gate is too narrow for a fire apparatus to enter, right? And fire department team need at least 6 feet above the grade, right? 6 feet above the grade that a belligerent pump operator must reach using a ground ladder, right? Although while hearing the call for water because the building fire pump is not supplying the standpipe system. So where is the location of the fire department connection? What is the access to the building, right? What is the width at the entrance? All those things play an important role while considering these are some of the plan issues of interest to the fire service. The first plan normally submitted for review is a site plan, right? They submit the site plan first, right? The site plan approval is the first step in the regulatory process and may even be part of a rezoning, right? One, there should be a site plan for the sites, right? And it's a regulatory process and maybe even a parts of a rezoning like action or process of assigning some land or properties to different categories of restriction, right, to use and development. Approval by the jurisdiction constitutes, right, constitutes authorization for the construction of a structure, right. The jurisdiction or the ASA will give the approval for the following things, right, to authorize for construction of a structure for specific uses and a specific construction classification, right? What is the types of the building construction? What is the purpose of that one? The location of the structure on the properties, right? The building height and area, the road configuration, including parking, right? So all those should be approved by the jurisdiction. What is the width of the road, including the parking, building height and area, location of the structure on that properties, and building construction types, and so on, right? So this all those points are determined at this stage in the process, right? If there is a time in process that is conductive to request from the fire department, that might exceed the code requirement minimums, right? Right. The problem occurs, right? You didn't consult the fire department teams and the civil and architectural team start with the construction without the approval. Now, if the things come into the or into the fire department attention, right? And they realize you are not following the fire safety guidelines, the fire service trucks requirement, the fire department connections, hydrant, and so on. So at the later stage, if the fire department says no, it is not correct for the fire safety point of view, you have to change the plan as per our requirement. So at that state, the project cost, the budget of the project will go higher, right? So this causes some of the conflict, right? So the cost of the project will go higher in such case. This is why you have to first consult the fire department team to sort out those issues for fire safety requirements. Here we can see a site plan. Here we can see a site plan, right? Midwell North Business Park, right? They have given the road access. Here is our storage office areas, right? One story office area with the total area in the square meter and the square feet, the site statics and all those details. This is a typical site plan. You have to give to the fire department team or the plan reviewers. They will review the plans for this building, right? At the initial phase of the drawing, right? If you can see here, they have the scale also 1 is to 750. So what the fire department will see, they will see what is the minimum, what is the width of this road, right? What is the clearance at this one? How they are going to turn their vehicles at those locations? What is the distance between two fire hydrants? All those information all those information they will check. All those information they will check from the site plan construction drawings, right? Prior to start of the construction. Suppose you have not submitted your drawings to a fire department team, right? And you started with the site plan initial construction. So at later stage, if this comes to fire service, right, to fire department team, they might ask you that the road width is less than 6.1 meters, the height is made less than 4 meters, or the connection between two hydrants is more than required one, or the fire flow capacity is not adequate. Now at this moment, you have to spend more money for those projects, which cause some of the conflict, right? So it is better to get approval from the fire department officials or code enforcement official, so that there might not be any kind of the conflict coming in the future. Now we have moving to the next topics, which is building plan issues, right? Just wait a moment. In addition to site plan review, many fire departments reviews plans for structural fire protection and separation or fire protection rating or emergency access and fire protection system, right? Once they review the site plan, right? Once they review the site plan and they are satisfied with the site plan, the width of the road, distance between two fire hydrant, and what is the vertical clearance, what is the connection for fire department connection, right? So now the next they might ask you for the structural fire protection, right? The passive fire protection system required, the one we discuss in the life safety code and the one we discuss into the building construction types, right? So they will ask you the structural fire protection ratings. What is the fire ratings? What material you have used? What is the fire rating of that material, right? What is the separation requirement for fire separation requirement or fire protection ratings? And what is the fire protection system we are going to install, what is the uh, code you are going to use, they will review all those plans, right? In addition to the site plan review, they will look for the means of egress, passive fire protection system requirement. If there is a wall which is fire rated and there is a pipe going within that, if the pipe is penetrating the wall must be sealed with fire protection rating of the similar ratings, right? So if the wall is for 2 hours, the penetration of the pipe should be also sealed with 2 hours fire rating, which is approved by UL or FMU, right? They will look for the means of egress, right? They will look for the emergency evacuation plans, right? They will look for the emergency lighting system, heat and smoke management system, everything which is related to fire and life safeties. They have to look, apart from the site plan reviews, that you have to get approval from them uh, prior to starting the construction. Now, the next topics we have fire protection system plan issues, right? So, for the fire department, right, input is especially valuable in review and approval of sprinkler system, fire alarm, smoke control system, and other fire protection system, right? Because fire operation personnel becomes the end users, right? The fire operations person become the end users. Fire department team, in case of the fire inside the buildings, the ASJ or the fire department team, they will come to the your site, right, to extinguish the fire. One guy will be inside the pump room, one guy will be nearby the risers, and some guy will be fighting the fires, and there is a fire chief standing outside giving the command, right? So although they are the end users, right, in case of the fire within those premises, within some municipalities or some jurisdictions, those person have to come, right, to fight the fire, so that they have to issue all your fire protection system capacities, adequacy, and code compliance, right? The way you have designed, you have followed the IFC, or you have followed the sorry building code, or whatever code, they have to look for everything prior to starting of the construction, right? And then they will do inspection also. So there are numerous instances within the model codes and reference fire protection system standard in which fire department approval is especially required, right? So we need the approval from the fire department teams in various instances, right? From the model codes and based on the standard requirement. Like for example, the location of the fire department connection, right? And the configuration and access to fire command center are just two examples. Your fire department connection should be always easily accessible from the outside, must be facing the roadside, right? And it should not be obstructed by any kind of the garden or any kind of the structure, so that in case of the fire, there will be no problem with the fire department official to fight the fire, right? It is preferable to get a fire department approval within a formal framework, right? Similar to the plan review process, instead of irrelevant personnel, right? So you have to get those approval from the concerned person to avoid any issues in the future. Now coming to the knowledge, skills, abilities for plant reviewers, right? NFPA have some of the certification for the plant reviewers, which is NFPA 1031, right? We can call it KSS, right? Which means knowledge, skill, and abilities, right? For the plant reviewers, right? A position in the Fire Prevention Bureau requires a different skill set and demeanor than a job performing fire department operation, right? The job of reviewing construction plan and meeting with developers and design professionals do not match the skills required by firefighters. Firefighters have some different skill set. They just know how to fight the fire in case of the fire and how to do the emergency evacuation process and plans. But the plan reviewers have different kind of requirement, right? They have to review the plan. They have to look for the life safety. They have to look for the life safeties and as well as the uh, property safety, right? The property protections. So they have to be aware of all those fire protection system requirement, active fire protection system, passive fire protection system, and so on. In some of the departments, they hire engineers to serve as plant reviewer staff. Some department may hire some other engineers which is approved, right, which is skilled to review the plans, right. These civilian personnel should receive in-depth training on fire department operational objectives and operational needs, right? So they have some expertise and knowledge in those areas so that they will review the plan as per the model code requirement, as per the standard requirement within those jurisdictions. They must have access to senior officers within the department when operational expertise is needed, right? So they must have some access to the senior officers when we need some of the expertise. Okay, so here we comes to the ends of module 6 now, module 6, and then we'll be moving on to the next module. We have module 7, right? Just wait a moment. We'll be going to the next module now.